Got him. So I'm playing a little bit of Arma 3 on this ViewSonic gaming monitor. If you haven't played it before, I do recommend it. I really like playing this co-op. But really, we're here for this new ViewSonic monitor. This is the XG2703GS. 27 inches, 1440p, high refresh, 165 Hz, and Nvidia's G-Sync. It's got all the bells and whistles of a great gaming monitor. And while the speakers aren't the best, they're not bad. And perhaps the style is, well, it's all right. The bezels are quite thick. It's got a bit of a gamery aesthetic to it with the green LED light here and this plastic build and reasonably thick bezels. Doesn't look the best. And it does have strong competition from the likes of Asus's ROG Swift PG279Q and the Acer Predator XB271HU. So it does have a lot of strong competition, and considering it'll set you back around £700 or $700, it ain't cheap. But as I say, you do get all the bells and whistles, high refresh, G-Sync, Quad HD resolution, pretty much all the tick boxes you want if you want a good gaming monitor, assuming you're not going for 4K or, my personal favorite, ultra wide. As you can see, even though I'm filming this in 30 FPS, 30 Hz, you're not seeing this full 165 Hz refresh rate, which is absolutely fantastic. So if you're playing twitchy FPSs like CSGO, or you're playing MOBA games, and you do have a reasonably powerful PC, this is going to be a great monitor for you. So as you can see, we've got 165 Hz selected here for the refresh rate at Quad HD. You do need to use the DisplayPort input to get that high refresh rate. And we've also got G-Sync enabled, which helps reduce screen tearing and stuttering and also reducing input lag. Now, speaking of input lag, I recorded around 11 milliseconds on this ViewSonic, which is actually pretty good, although not exceptional. And it's 4 millisecond grade-to-grade response time. Also means there's very little ghosting. And considering this is an IPS panel, so you don't get those rubbish viewing angles you do on a TN, 4 milliseconds response time is actually pretty good. And as you can see here, as I rotate the screen, while the brightness does drop off quite significantly at very, very acute angles, actually it's very good, and you get almost no color shift whatsoever. It really is very impressive. And considering you're paying around $700, if you didn't get an IPS panel, I'd be a little bit disappointed. But speaking of colors, even though ViewSonic are marketing this as a gaming monitor, actually, the colors are surprisingly accurate. I measured after calibration using the default Gamer 1 picture profile. The ViewSonic covered 100% of the sRGB and 80% of the Adobe RGB color gamuts and reached a maximum brightness of 350 CDM with a contrast ratio of just over 1000 to 1. So while this is a great gaming monitor, it's also pretty color accurate. So you can actually do a little bit of photo and video editing on it, as well as, say, watching YouTube videos and streaming movies. But as well as all that, and a pretty impressive spec, it's got a few nifty features built in. We've got Dark Boost, which raises the brightness so you can basically see in the shadows of dark games, which could be useful if someone's hiding in a shadow behind a box in CSGO, for example. You've got a blue light filter, which is handy if you're doing some late night gaming sessions and you want to get to sleep afterwards. It's also got ULMB, or ultra low motion blur, but you can't use that if you've got G-Sync enabled, so in my opinion, that's kind of redundant. As for the build quality, well, it's pretty good. It doesn't look the most premium, if I'm honest, and as I say, it's got a bit of a gamery aesthetic to it, but it is reasonably flexible. You can tilt it quite a lot. You can even rotate it a full 90 if you bring it forward like that, so you could always use it. You could always get like a triple setup portrait if you wanted to. I'm not sure who actually does that, but you've got that, and you can, of course, also adjust the height by 100 millimeters. So perhaps not the most premium looking, considering the price, but it is extremely flexible, and you could also Visa mount it if you prefer. So basically, you can do whatever you want with it. My only issues with the ViewSonic are the slightly chunky, matte grey, cheap feeling bezels here. The stereo 2-watt speakers are also a bit tinny. They're fine, they're good if you've got no other speaker set up for some reason, but I wouldn't use them. And also the port selection is a bit limited. You only have one HDMI 1.4 and one DisplayPort 1.2, as well as 4 USB 3s. So it's got great colors, a beautiful IPS display, high refresh rate, G-Sync, Quad HD resolution, so everything's super sharp. So this is a great gaming monitor, and it's actually pretty good for watching movies and doing other stuff as well. So let me know what you make of the ViewSonic XG2703GS in the comments below. Would you buy one? How do you think it ranks compared to the other top-end gaming monitors? Do let me know. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoy the review. If you fancy buying one of these or finding out more, you can find links in the description below. And I'll see you next time right here on the Tech Chat. Thanks for watching.